Hi, I'm Kevin EuDaly. Here's a little bit of what you'll see in this episode. Be sure and visit shop.whiteriverproductions.com for our magazines, books, and other railroad-related materials. Thanks. On Thursday, November 7th, we figured maybe 3 is a charm, and we met Tom again, and the train this day had 4 units, again with M420 2045 leading, and it ran to Pocono Summit, so we did the chase up to the summit, and then instead of just running around and taking off back to the west, they actually did a power shuffle, which put an M636 leading on the way back. So that was good for us. And when we got back into Scranton, the other crew was still to the north. So we jumped up to the Van Storch shops and caught the other crew coming south. By then the light was pretty shadowy, but managed to catch them a couple of spots and ended the day right there at Bridge 60 in Scranton. Then to finish the day off, we had dinner with Matt and Chad at the Rail Yard in Scranton. Very nice restaurant, so had a really nice visit with them at the end of the day.
Okay, on the right. Well, I would have made that. But then again, I live here.
On Friday, November 8th, for the 4th day in a row, we met Tom Nemeth at Scranton. And this time, they went all the way into East Stroudsburg. Power was an M636 and an M420. So Tom decided to go catch a Reading and Northern job. So we followed Tom, and we picked a spot and set up and waited and waited and waited. And eventually decided that we weren't going to have time to get it in the Delaware-Lackawanna both. So we dashed back to Scranton, and the Delaware and Lackawanna had already left. So we then dashed to Elmhurst, and we waited too long there before concluding that he was already gone. And finally caught up with the train at Crisco. So our first shot of the morning was at 11:32 in the morning. So we basically blew the whole morning running to and fro. So that didn't go so well. But the Delaware and Lackawanna was operating all the way into East Stroudsburg on this particular day, so we had lunch and waited for him to return and shot him coming back out before we had to head for New Jersey. And after lunch and catching the train, Mel and I practiced our get in the way of the camera skills quite effectively. As usual, thanks for watching.
Places, every time I've gone there, I've gone different ways because it's just a grid, you know. But I guess they know which roads are under construction. That was funny, that evil traffic light that's on the east side of the Strawberry Hill connecting track up over. They just have it set on red permanently because they're digging up the road, and there's a flagman there who waves you through it.
Right.
So it's a red light to get